5 fucking hours. How do you talk? How do you talk for 5 hours? As smart as she is, goddamn, she don't shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Now I gotta edit this. How the fuck you talk for 5 hours? How? How? Oh my god. But y'all, the real reason I want to react to this is because that lady is just so fine. Like, I don't really care what she got to say for real. She just so fine. Like, I said it before and I'll say it again. I know she tastes like an iced honey bun. I know she do. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's pop our shit. Okay? Because we gonna clock her tea. Okay? And everybody else that she bring up. So let's go.
Alright, I'm about to do this interview real quick. So I'm going to be
so
away from the phone.
There goes my baby. Ooh, girl, look at you. You know how good. Oh, okay. She's showing her age. Alright, Jela. She's holding the phone and shit like that. Yeah, I gotta skip forward. I'm sorry.
You were on a show called Bad Girls Club. And the last video I saw was our third interview. We did a couple.
We did.
Yes. A lot has changed in the last almost 10 years. You've grown, I've grown, the world is different.
Yes.
We got a crazy new president. A lot is going on in the world. So are you ready for this deep dive into
Hell yeah,
what's
she
been
ready.
happening in your world, what's been going on the shows that you've been on?
Look at her.
And I just want to get reacquainted.
Y'all, I'm editing right now, and it's crazy because he asked her that, and the first part of this interview gave us nothing. Like, the most I learned from this interview was just basically how she met Natalie. Like, that was it. It really was no tea on this interview, but I try to keep it as entertaining as I possibly could, and I try to cut it down as much as I can. Yeah.
What's been going on the shows that you've been on, and I just want to get reacquainted, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yes, indeed. So listen, I have this clip, and I want to play this clip real quick.
Speaking of
So we're
clip,
gonna look over
me
here
too. I got one.
at the TV, and we're gonna talk about it after the clip.
Well, I can't put it on camera, but yeah. Candlelight. I don't feel like going to the store and getting a regular one.
That is my goal. They have all of like my merchandise, most of like pieces ready for consumption before the beginning and everything. I've actually been working on a movie that they're filming here in Houston. I have a role in that. I can't really say too much about that. And then I'm doing another sitcom, like an actual show where you can see my acting skills and you can see my talent. But honestly, my ultimate goal
She didn't just do reality TV and like modeling and stuff.
Dramas, so that you can actually see my acting ability and you're able to see the versatility that I can bring to the camera or to the stage. So I'm excited about beginning on the big screen in that way, and I'm going to take my modeling more serious because I do have the bone structure, I have the height, I have the shape, I have runway training, and I actually model before I started acting.
Well, I'm here for it. I think you can do it. You are definitely my loud ass voice. With and without makeup,
Still
which
loud,
is an amazing thing. Because some of these chicks just need to put layers and layers of makeup on their face. It's a beautiful thing. One last thing before you go. What advice do you have?
Yeah, I just almost
the girls of season 15? Because apparently it's all
just almost burnt my lip.
family special kind of thing. I don't know.
Only don't let the show stop you or be a hindrance, and don't stand in your own way. And like I tell everybody, always remember, everything is always business and never personal.
Probably needed to the side.
Everything that I've ever wanted out of life,
I've always spoken it aloud for other people to hear, like my biggest dreams and aspirations. And so to see me talking in an interview 10 years ago about getting ready to launch Normal Culture, and the world had no idea about that. And, 10 years later, I've done Miami Swim Week 3 times. I've been featured in Forbes twice. Normal Culture is in Vogue, British Vogue, Vanity Fair, Glamour, and people around the world are shopping with Normal Culture, and they know about my brand. So for you to pull up a clip from almost 10 years ago when I went to YouTube University.
So I just went to the website, the Normal Culture website. It's talking about relaunching soon. What's going on, Jela? What's going on? Was I gonna buy something? No, but I wanted to see what your shit was looking like.
I was just like, when that clip was made, I was just working on hats and t-shirts. And I started selling Normal Culture out of the trunk of my car. And at that time, I could only afford to buy like maybe 25 hats and 25 t-shirts at a time.
Yeah.
And I was bartending, and people were pulling up to the bar I worked at in Houston in 3rd Ward, buying my hats and t-shirts out of the trunk of my car just off of the strength that I was cool. I was from the city, and I was on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
And it just turned into something else. Like, I taught myself how to sew before COVID. And then during COVID, I relaunched my brand like a cut and sew type of brand instead of just like hats and t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, moving to LA, it really took off during COVID. Teaching myself how to sew, practicing off of YouTube. I went to YouTube University, got 2 sewing machines and some rulers, and laid the fabric out on the floor and was marking places in the floor and like everything. Yeah, in my New York apartment.
What would the Jela today tell that Jela?
Girl, like, I would tell my younger self that you're doing it and keep doing it. And no matter how crazy or outlandish your dreams are, go for them. And then once you hit them, go for ones even bigger.
Yeah.
Because God is able. And God is never going to put a dream or a desire in your heart that you cannot have. God isn't going to let you see anything in your mind's eye that He will not bring to pass for you. And so, for me, I always knew that I would be famous since I was a kid. I knew it. And I didn't come from money. I grew up here in Atlanta on the south side. I'm from Riverdale, Clayton County. And growing up, I would always say, like, my driving force is behind it. And so, yeah.
Speaking of that, there was an episode on Bad Girls Club.
Keep going, don't stop, keep God
she was
first,
talking about, like, the Normal Culture, how she was going to be a model, all this and that. And it was just like, she just likes to hear herself talk. Like, she just don't shut up.
And I'm looking at myself.
Now
And
look
it's
at
like,
her,
nobody's ever going to
shitting on
beat
them
me up the way
bitches.
that I big myself up.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever going to love me as much as I love myself. And so, keep being yourself and keep being confident and know that you got this with God on your side.
So the tears are happy tears.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing the damn thing. Like, I'm out here breaking.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and
Generational curses. I'm supporting people around me in multiple ways. I'm encouraging people, and I'm living my dreams.
Are you single?
I am.
Why?
She waiting for the right one,
Well,
sir.
it's kind of by choice. Me being single right now is just kind of like a matter of the circumstances because I'm just so busy with work.
Okay.
But for a long time, I'm not going to say I didn't want to get into a relationship because I've always wanted companionship, but it was very important for me as an intelligent black woman to go and chase my dreams.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because, and it doesn't even come down to like skin color, so I'm not even going to make it about that, but as a woman, I feel like as women, a lot of times we fall into the shadow or the shadows of the men we date or the people that we love. And women don't put themselves first a lot of times. We go and we have babies, or, if a woman is in a relationship or if she's married, she takes, that time to focus on his career or his dreams and help build him up. But when do we be in an environment with people that want to purposely hurt me? And that's what they wanted to do. And even if it's been 10 years, I can't be around people that wanted to take me out. They wanted to take us out. And so
Those
it doesn't.
strong words.
They wanted to take us out. You let those girls literally destroy everything we own. Those girls pissed in a jacuzzi bathtub of water and decided to throw our stuff in it. That's malicious
period blood,
and evil,
too.
and the producers let them do it. They never stopped them. If you can sit there and let somebody do that because I left them and went to the club,
Right.
if I come back 10 years later and I'm making more money than the producers that I started with 10 years ago, and I want way more money than $500 a week, and I'm very successful 10 years later, and you tried to do that to knock me down as a girl that had never been on TV before, and I'm a strong woman, independent woman, businesswoman, entrepreneur, standing before you, and you think that 10 years later I'm gonna let them play with me like that? I wish the fuck I would.
I know that's right.
Now, if another network was to come up with an idea of about that or like something like that, then I would potentially entertain it. But
My
So
question
she's
for
still
you, though,
fucking with Natalie.
is,
She just
how
confirmed it
did
right there.
Jayla and Natalie become, I don't know the title y'all use, but I'll say friends, business associates. I don't know what that is. But how did that come about, and where are you today?
so I met Natalie. I have a memory like an elephant. I remember the day I met her. I met Natalie March of 2016. We were doing a hair shoot for She's Happy Hair. We were both hair ambassadors for them, and it's a hair company based out of Houston.
Okay.
And so they used to always have like the really fun commercials back in the day and stuff. And we were working with them, and that was my first time meeting her on set. And she was just really cool. Like, she invited me to her hotel room, and we sat there and we got our hair done together. The girls came over and did our hair. And then at the time, Natalie was selling lashes. Well, she has a lash company, but she was, I think, trying out like different types of lashes or whatever. So she gave me some lashes and, whatever. And then she's a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn. And I think that's where our biggest commonality is. That's, I think, I'm not going to say the basis of our friendship is the fact that we're both Capricorns, but I feel like because we're both Capricorns, I understand her probably better than most people.
Okay.
And so when we first met, I didn't just hop on Natalie's coattail like, oh my God, Natalie Nunn. Like, she was cool. And whenever I would see her, we would speak, or, we would hang out like in passing or whatever, but we never really would see each other all the time. So whenever I would see her, we would hang out, like I said, take a shot. Hey girl. And, just kind of keep it moving. That's my Bad Girls Club sister, whatever.
Okay.
And then, in 2019, she invited me on a trip to Dubai.
Okay.
And so I went on a girls trip with her.
Heard about them Dubai.
Right.
What kind of trip was
But
that?
honestly, it was literally just a girls trip. It was a big group so one thing about Natalie loves to travel.
Okay.
And so that's
what he
one of the
asking,
things
girl.
that she does. She'll get
Was
a
y'all
big group of girls
getting-
together and travel the world. Like, we've been to Dubai,
Ah.
we've been to Africa.
Y'all were
Natalie,
potty
just me and
mouths?
her, we go all over.
That's
the
what
world
he
together. Like, she
asking,
and I,
girl.
we've been to Italy a few times.
Excuse me. Under God should be taken out of the Pledge of Allegiance. That's right, I agree. And it should be taken off of money as well. The religious right in this country is trying to force our children to believe what they... And we can't let the religion...
We've been to Dubai together, like,
And that's
it's
like
just
a
a thing.
normal thing. It's not like,
just a
oh,
girls
girl,
trip.
let's do this for the photo op. Or,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, pipe down, bitch. Pipe down.
or nothing. It's like, friend, I want to go. Come with me.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I don't know her relationship with all the other girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, how close she is or whatever the case may be. But so over the years, Natalie and I just kind of built an organic friendship, just getting to know each other a little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay.
And it just turned into an organic friendship because I don't think either one of us ever tried to like force it. Just because she was Natalie Nunn and we were both on Bad Girls Club, I wasn't trying to force myself into her life. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Whenever she would come around, we would hang out. She was cool. I'm cool. And then what happened was the dynamic of our friendship changed when we went to Africa. We went to Africa in 2021. And around that time, I had just moved to LA and I still had my place in New York. So I was like living between LA and New York, and we were still kind of in COVID, and I was going through a breakup and I had just had a miscarriage. And so, thank you. But, and so we went to Africa. We had a great time, and Natalie didn't even know what I was going through because we were cool, but we weren't super duper close. So I wasn't just about to just be telling her my business like that, you know? I went on a trip with her to Africa because she invited me, and it was the perfect time. Like, I was going through so much. I'm like, I was in my New York apartment about to go back to LA, and she called me. It might have been like a Tuesday. And she might have said, hey, bitch, I'm going to Africa in a couple days. Let's say Thursday. I'm going to Africa Thursday. You want to come? Yes.
Hell yeah.
The fuck? Like, so... Long story short, we went to Africa. We had a great trip, and then we landed back in Atlanta, and it was like the middle of the night or like early morning hours. And so I'm from Atlanta, and my ex-boyfriend lived in Atlanta, and I was like missing him, and I'm texting him, and he was telling me, oh, I'm in the airport, I'm headed to Miami, and like we probably had like just missed each other, and the breakup was so fresh. I just started bawling, crying in the airport. And in the midst of me crying, Netta was like, what's wrong, girl? Like, you know, and so I had to tell her, like, oh, you know, like, you don't know, but I just had a miscarriage, and I'm going through a breakup with my boyfriend, like, it's a lot. And Natalie, that's when I saw the real her that everybody doesn't get to see. She sat in that airport and she cried with me because she had a miscarriage. And I think in that moment I saw the real woman her. You know? Not the person that you see on TV or like the character or the social media persona. I saw the everyday woman that knew what I was going through and that felt my pain because she had been through it before. And that is what made me want to be her friend every day, like on a consistent basis, to really, really get to know her.
Well, she your friend, but and damn, so, you just told her business like that.
We would just be talking to each other every single day. Like in the morning, she would be on her way to the gym.
Because has she ever like came out and never said
like
that?
She's like a normal person. Like she's a mom.
You in my business? Don't do that.
Like when she's not filming, like dropping her. Well, when her daughter was still going to like public school, like private school, dropping her daughter off to school every single morning, going to the gym, like her little daily routine, my daily routine, or like even when she would come to LA, just seeing like her work ethic, like she would spend the night at my house, and like to see her get up in the morning and like open up her laptop or pull out her planner and get straight to work as soon as she wakes up. That shit is inspiring. I want somebody like that around because it motivates me to do bigger and better, to do more, to keep going. And this lady has been on TV for how long, and she's been an entrepreneur for how long, and clearly she's doing something that works. And I'm blessed enough to be able to have a genuine friendship or at least I think an organic friendship with her. Why not try to learn as much from her as I can? Who wouldn't? If you sitting around somebody that's successful in multiple areas of their life, why would you not try to learn as much as you can from them? You would be a fool not to.
That makes sense, but I have to tell you, what you described just now and what we see on a regular basis are so
different,
so vastly different.
That's just like what you see.
Like, is that
of me,
really just her TV personality?
Like,
is it separate?
And who I am in real life? I'm not walking around knocking people upside the head and being the nigga police in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? I don't even raise my voice. You know? Like, if you see me on the internet, you like I'm a party girl, or people have like a certain persona or a way that they have viewed people. And it's not to say that she isn't that.
That's not part of her.
But I can only tell you because people want to know, why am I friends with her? So I can only give you the reasons why I love her and the reasons why I have chosen to be friends with her and the things that connect us.
Okay.
So.
Because it seems like a lot of her quote-unquote friendships end up not going anywhere, or they fall south, or whatever is going on. I mean, we know about the famous feud between her and Sarah Oliver, and like...
Oh, Miss Nunn.
everybody comes up online and spews a lot of negative things about her. But the story that you just gave us was very beautiful. I would have never thought that happened. No shade. I just would have never thought. Like, what?
Honestly, like when that moment happened between us in the airport, I'm not gonna say I was floored, but I think that, you know, when you work in the entertainment industry for so long, you do kind of become a little numb or a little cold because you never really know. You never really know who wants to be your friend or who's just around you for what. So I think we're all a little desensitized, and in that moment, like, a barrier was broken.
No shade. You kind of have to be. I mean, because you just, what y'all deal with and what y'all go through on that show, I don't know. People want me to get into reality TV all the time, and I'm just like, baby, my brain ain't wired right. At least not for that kind of reality. I see myself being like on competition shows or something like that because I'm very competitive. What would you say your relationship is today? Because, baby, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pull out a little bit of Mona. Baby, I'm going to motherfucking tell you, girl, because, bitch, what? Girl, the last episode, y'all saw it, and I saw it too.
Yeah.
And I know you saw it. I did. What
Ain't that
is
your friend?
Relationship today?
Ain't that your friend? Ain't that your friend?
What is your relationship today?
Ain't that your
I
friend?
actually talked to Natalie this morning. And I said after I saw that episode, I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were so hurt. I cried like 3 times. Like, baby, I'm not gonna lie, baby. My feelings were so hurt, baby. And I'm not gonna lie, my feelings was fucking hurt. Yes. But I'll say this, like, and I'm not excusing her behavior because it was fucked up for her to sit and talk about me with Rolly's fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Because that bitch don't like me. I'm gonna just be all the way real. Rolly motherfucking ass do not like me. And I'm cool with that because we're co-workers. We don't have to be best friends. But for you to sit up and talk about me with this bitch, it's like to add insult to injury because, anyway, I'm not gonna talk about other people, but don't sit up and talk about me with no hoe. You know what? So that was my thing about it.
Don't sugarcoat nothing.
I had multiple conversations with Natalie about it and just about things that people have come back to her and told her that I said, you know, when the cameras wasn't up or, you know, when the cameras wasn't around. So I'm going to be real. Y'all saw Natalie talking shit about me with Rolly and the cameras caught it. I'm not perfect. I've done my dirt and I've done things that the camera didn't catch. Okay. And so I have to, you know, I'm a very self-aware person and I'm not going to sit up here. And one thing I'm never going to do is I'm not going to try to smear dirt on nobody's name. And I'm not going to try to make myself seem like I'm perfect or I'm an angel or I'm better than nobody. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's still, at the end of the day, that's still been my friend for a long time. And with that being said, she did something that I didn't like and she did something that hurt me. And we got to work on that. But for me to sit up here and say that I don't still love her or I'm not going to be her.
All right, y'all. So, whoa. I got to use condom on my head. The fuck? But all right, y'all. Look, the first part 1 I told y'all, it was 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I had to split it. I'm back the next day. As y'all can see, I'm like 40 minutes in. I'm going to just try to get through the rest of it. All right.
Okay. But still, at the end of the day, that's still been my friend for a long time. And with that being said, she did something that I didn't like, and she did something that hurt me. And we got to work on that. But for me to sit up here and say that I don't still love her or I'm not going to be her friend, I would be lying to you. Okay. I'm not going to get on Beyonce's internet and lie. I'm still going to be friends with her. I do still love her. When I have Miami Swim Week, she's still going to be in my show.
Oh, my shit
because we still support each other. Even if we support each other in different ways, you have to know in this industry who your friends and who your allies are. And sometimes you gonna fall out with people. You gonna argue with people.
Since forever, we've hated Monday. But it doesn't have to be like this. Introducing Monday, Hair Care. Our modern, award-winning formulas.
What the fuck is that? Is that my phone?
No more bad Mondays.
Just as I am as much of her friend as I know how to be.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think it's a ghost in my shit. Did y'all hear that audio? That was random. I swear to God, that was random. I don't know where that came from. I tried to look for it. Just randomly stopped. What the was that? I don't even look.
So what I will say to that is everyone has.
Spring is here, and let's just say
what is
2025
this?
has not been an easy year.
But everybody's friendship is different. I have some people that call everybody and their mama best friend. Some people that call everybody and their mama friend. I don't call everybody friend. But that's different for everyone.
Yeah, I watch people like that.
Can say that I respect the fact that you were able to check yourself in that moment. Because do we have moments where we talk about our friends and our friends are not there?
Yeah. And even if you don't mean it maliciously,
right?
Shit happens.
What? Baby, let me
That
tell you
was
something.
bullshit.
That was crazy. That was crazy work.
It was. When I tell you, first of all, let me tell you, this last season, because I feel like I'm trying to keep it like, let me just be for real. This last season was a shit storm. It was a hell storm, okay? All of the above. And I feel like everybody's emotions was high. Everybody was talking shit about every fucking body. Let's just be real about it, because when you're in like 20 bitches that you got to deal with every single day. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna talk shit about somebody. And somebody might go back and say something about it. That's woman shit. That's human shit. It's gonna happen. So
I'm gonna ask.
Speaking of which, please watch my story time about how I sent my coworker into a manic episode on the job.
The age demographic is, I would say, kind of vast.
It is.
Because we have people from the BGC days, and then we have the kids now. So some are grown and mature and understand how life works, and then others just see the world through the lens of Zeus, and they're just like, whatever. But there are those moments where what you see may not be what it is all of the time.
Right.
And what we saw in that clip of Natalie talking to Rolly is not your life with her on a regular day-to-day basis. And so because of that, I can see where she's saying she's able to get through that and let it mull over.
It's like being in a relationship.
Okay.
So the way that I look at my friendships,
I
look at my friendships like relationships.
Do you want me to turn the air off? You cold?
No, why? Because my nipples hurt?
No, I
move around a lot, so no, it's fine.
Okay, good.
But no, I look at my friendships like relationships.
Okay.
And so with that being said, if you're in a relationship with someone, you have to take time to get to know them, and people may do things that you don't like, and you have to be willing to forgive them if you want to keep them in your life, or whatever the case. So you have to have a little bit of like understanding and compassion for other people just in general. And so I cannot move about the world expecting, and I'm not even going to make this about God. Like, I'm not even going to be like, oh, I can't expect for God to forgive me if I'm not forgiving others, which is true. But in the same token, I cannot move about the world and deal with men and give them grace and allow my man. If I allow my man to fuck up, why can't my friend fuck up?
Okay.
And if I can forgive, and
that's
if
a new perspective. I like that.
Why can't I forgive my homegirl that I've known longer than him?
Okay.
This been my friend for almost 10 years.
But at the same time, if they your friends for that long, they should know you.
And when I was all said and done, and I was an entrepreneur, doing my entrepreneur stuff in my fashion shows or whatever, and Natalie had a good idea, and even though we were still friends, outside of me coming back to TV, she ain't have to call, she ain't have to pick up the phone and say, hey Jela, you trying to whatever? That was a friend call. I hadn't been on TV in 7 years. She ain't have to call me. She have to call none of us. So that's why I say, like, sometimes people do things and everybody ain't perfect, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and I may want to be forgiven. Like, I literally just told my little sister earlier that I just did something to one of my other friends, and I knew after it happened, I said, I was a bad friend and I have to apologize to her for that because it wasn't cool. Be able to check yourself, be able to be self-aware, and know that just because somebody does something, it doesn't determine the full scope.
Y'all, it's my plug birthday. Let me text him happy birthday.
Y'all's relationship off of that one thing. I can't base my relationship with Natalie off of her talking shit in the car with Rolly, because what happened to everything else that y'all don't see, that I don't speak about, that y'all don't know?
I respect it.
So I it's fucked up. Trust me, like I said, it's fucked up. It was fucked up. She knows it was fucked up. We talked about it.
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation about it. It got real. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do with your people. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see me get on the internet trying to blast her and calling her this and telling that. I liked a few shady posts about her saying some fucked up shit about me. I reposted a couple shady things on Instagram, but as far as like getting on the internet and tearing her down because of that, I ain't cut like that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you refill? Give her a refill for me? You so kind and sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tristan. You good? You comfortable?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. Baby, that was number 8. Okay. What made you sign on to do Baddies South? Word on the curb, and the curb being the internet.
Right.
And that ain't no curb.
Streets.
Yeah. Word on the curb was that you was either bored or you just needed the money. What is it? One of the two? Is it both?
Both.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I moved to LA January of 2021. So we're still in the thick of COVID because COVID was happening then. So we're in COVID. I moved to LA and I'm working on normal culture, and things are going good, but they could be going better. And Natalie hit me up. First of all, Natalie hit me up to be on Baddies ATL. And at the time, I didn't do it because I was pregnant and I was in a relationship. But I didn't tell her at the time I was pregnant. I was just like, no, I think I'm good. You know, I was just kind of, I made like an excuse as to why I didn't want to do it. But then when she asked me the second time, it was like, okay, you know, me and her, we done got a little bit closer. We hang out a little bit more on a consistent basis. I guess I wouldn't really mind. I do need the money. I could put it into my brain. You know, I'm always thinking about normal culture, like when I go and do this kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
And so I'm like, fuck it, why not? Like,
you think Baddies South was the breakout season? Some say.
For sure.
What made it the breakout season?
I think it was just loud. I think that the first season of
it for sure was the breakout season.
I think Baddies ATL was kind of like,
it was the first season.
But the budget, you know, they was just kind of getting it together, just testing the waters a little bit. And then I think with Baddies South, they kind of figured a little bit out, a little bit more, switched the cast up, and brought in different dynamics. And I think because there were different dynamics on the cast, and not just girls from BGC, it kind of shook the room. And it was great. Krishan came in and did her motherfucking thing. I gotta give my hat off to her. Like,
yeah.
They
was teamed up that season.
It was just salacious.
Yeah.
Did you know that first episode when Krishan put persuasion in his and you know it's no shade to like persuasion. I don't have no.
Krishan being dirty though. Hold on, don't say dirty. Who said fucking dirty drunk?
Nobody said anybody being dirty. What it was.
What it was?
You don't clean up after yourself.
Issue with her. I don't have no issue with none of them, you know?
Yeah.
But that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And I think when the fans saw that, it reminded them of something that they would see on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
And I think from there they were hooked.
Yeah. So on Baddies South, it seemed, and I'm saying seemed because you never know something, but it seemed like you and Krishan had a bond. It seemed like it became like a dynamic of a big brother, a big sister, little sister situation. How organic was that, and when did that develop?
So I'm trying to think, how did it really happen? Okay, so when we first started filming, I was a little nervous to kind of get to know Krishan, only because, like, you know, stuff that we had kind of like saw on the internet a little bit. She was like a little bit wilder than I was.
Yes.
And so I was a little nervous to get to know her. Like, and if you saw, like, in the clip when we were laying across the bed, I asked Natalie because they were kind of saying like that she had, you know, like issues or whatever. And so, but I was asking seriously. I was like, Natalie, is there something seriously, whatever?
Right.
But when I sat back, I'm a very observant person. When I sat back and just saw her moving about, and then I was like, she's just a girl, you know, like she's just a young girl, and she's very misunderstood, and y'all not finna play with her. And we just got cool. Like, I would order food, and then like she would come and like sit and eat with me, or like she would smoke and ask me, do I want to smoke with her, or little things. Like, I had my sewing machine with me, and like I'll be just like making like little stuff, and then like she's like, can you bake me something? And I like make her a little pair of shorts or whatever. And, like, I just had a bunch of clothes with me because that was like baddie stuff. I was really actively sewing and making a lot of my own clothes. And so like her and Scotty, like I would just open the suitcase and they'd be like, Jela, what do you got? I need an outfit. Yeah. And they just get what they wanted because I had so much stuff. So I think it just kind of started off like that. And I have little sisters. And and then she started sleeping in the bed with me. And she was just so sweet and she was just so cool. Like, I don't know, like,
do you think, and I'm not trying to get you to say something in a certain way about her, I'm just trying to get to understand.
Right.
And I think for the audience too, because all we see is what we see.
Right.
But you get to see behind the camera. So my question is, when the cameras come around, is there like a switch that turns on for you or her, or like being Baddie South being like it was the second or third season of the series? Is there something like turns on? It's like, all right, let's go. We about to get it in. Like what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard the term lights, camera, action?
Yes.
Or have you ever heard you got a battery in your bag?
Yeah.
Those are all true things. What are we doing right now? Lights, camera, action.
Okay.
And the battery in your back is a real thing because when you're filming, you have a battery attached to your back and a microphone across your chest. So I don't think that it's necessarily, when the camera comes on, you turn into like a boom, here I am. But you're cognizant and you're aware that the camera's on. So you may be a little bit more animated or a little bit more amplified because you know that people are watching. So I think that that's what it is.
Okay.
But I think that that's true for all entertainers, whether you're on reality TV or whether you're dancing across a stage or, whether you're interviewing someone.
It's true because 10 versus Krishan and Jela.
Okay.
Example, like the conversation you had in this last episode with Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
I heard one thing one way, then I heard another thing another way, then something was said, and then we cut to her and Rolly talking. I'm like, what the hell was the conversation? So what don't we know that led up to the 10 versus Krishan and Jela?
Okay, so, because I be smoking weed, child. This is 2 years ago. This is 2022, 3 years ago, 2022.
I'm about to say, why it seemed longer than
It was
that?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so the night before that altercation, some of the cast members went out and they didn't want to invite Krishan. And because they didn't want to invite Krishan, I didn't go. And it was more so of a thing, well, really how it started was they were going out and they didn't invite either one of us at first. Okay. We kind of saw the girls getting dressed and doing their thing. What are these bitches doing? We like chilling, like we're done working for the night. And so, long story short, they were saying like that they was going out and they were kind of telling me like, oh, well, we going out, you can come, but we don't really want Krishan to come because she don't be knowing how to act sometimes. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to leave her. Like, I be with her every day. She sleep in the bed with me. Like, this is my girl. Like, if y'all want to go, like, y'all, I'm not going to leave her at home by herself. Like, I ain't going to do that, but y'all go. And so when I went and told Krishan, I was like, yeah, them bitches, they going out without us and they wasn't going to invite us. And it kind of started from there, in which Rolly and Slim didn't get invited to go out either. And so what happened was the four of us, and I can't remember who else was at the house. We were at the house and we were irritated and we didn't know what they was on because, we don't know them. We're still in the earlier parts of filming.
Right.
Because filming don't last a long time. When y'all see it on TV, it look stretched out, but it be only like days in between that stuff.
Okay.
And so, something happened. Maybe somebody was using a charger. This shit stemmed from a motherfucking phone charger. that was plugged up in a living room. like maybe Krishan's charger might have been plugged up in the living room and one of them were using it, or maybe one of their chargers. It was vaguely. It was. I want to say something happened in that living room with a fucking phone charger. It was something stupid as fuck, to where Slim and Krishan got in an argument, and they almost got in a fight
in a fast charger
in the house that night, like while everybody was gone. They almost fought and like threw a water bottle at each other. And like, to be honest, me and Rolly didn't have no issue with each other. She had Slim's back, and of course I have Krishan's back, so I think we both just kind of like got thrown into some shit.
Okay.
They both had an issue with Krishan though, but I'm not gonna let them tag team and double T. You know, I'm just not letting that happen. And so the next day, and this is all still a little fuzzy because like I said, it's 3 years ago, but I remember it was something that happened where we didn't go out to the club with them, and we was kind of irritated about it. And then Rolly and Slim didn't go out either, and it was something that happened in a living room, and I want to say it was over a phone charger. Slim and Krishan got in an argument and was throwing water bottles at each other or whatever it was. Was the girl that was known for whooping ass and taking names on TV. And so I think that when she and I fought and she didn't win that fight, and I can't speak for her. You know, this is just my own hypothesis. I think that it was an ego hit. And it took us a long time after that to kind of like warm up to each other. We didn't just cozy up to each other and start trying to be friends again. It took us being around each other on multiple occasions after the show in order for us to warm up to each other and say, okay, you actually a cool bitch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't know each other for real, so we really gotta hold on to that for real. We fought. We ain't really know each other for real. Now we work together. We getting to know each other. Like, we could just leave that. In my opinion, I thought we were moving forward and just kind of like leaving it where it was. But
I guess not.
I feel like, and because Rolly and I, like, I ain't gonna say like we're best friends or even friends. We're cordial. We're mutual. You know, we've gone and gotten food together. We've smoked together, but not anything too serious. Like, I don't call her and tell her my business. She don't call me and tell me any of her business, and that's perfectly fine. But I felt like at the very least, because we had been working together for as long as we have, and we have shared intimate moments with each other, and
in this season you are drying her eyes because she talking about her child and everything that she got going on.
Because I mean, for me, and what it is for me is like, I'm a very understanding person. I'm very compassionate. I'm a woman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. And if somebody is crying, I don't want to see nobody crying. You know, this is a woman who was saying that she was hurt because somebody was talking about her kid. And I can't even relate to that because I don't have a child, but I know that I want kids, and, you know, I understand.
Did DTB really talk about her child, though?
I don't know. Because I don't know what they be having going on.
I would say no, she did. But okay, you know, anytime somebody misses a child, oh, you talking about my child, don't bring my child into this. Child, DTB didn't say nothing about that.
She said something about her parents.
We still on Baddie South, y'all. I hope y'all got y'all snacks. Okay.
Right.
I hope y'all got y'all snacks. We still on Baddie South. There was a moment where Natalie and Jela had a moment. Mm-hmm. It was a thing. And you seem to be very in tune with your emotions. Mm-hmm. You cried on the show. You cried here. You're very in tune. Mm-hmm. I want to say that it was another emotional moment between you and her. Yeah. And I would say that this is after the airport moment, the times you hung out and all of that. So what was the issue? Because it became a house B versus a house A, or your side stay over here, you stay with your dogs, I'm with my girls.
Do you know that is how? Did you notice that after Baddie's South, the TV shit and the real life stuff that was being discussed or talked about shouldn't have been discussed or talked about.
Okay.
And it just wasn't cool. And
so who was talking about who?
Or the cast talking about it?
It was her and the cast. Like,
okay.
But it was because, okay, so there's a girl that was on the show with us, Ann Moore.
Yeah, she does things with her mouth. Yes.
And so Amor was on Baddie South with us, and I met Ann before the show.
Okay.
And we were, all mutuals, and so I think that because we were all mutuals and we knew some personal business, everyday life business about each other, girls get to talking, girls get to gossiping.
Yeah.
You go and tell this person, well, they don't stop there. They go and say this, that. And it was a situation like that where it was a little too much gossiping going on, and things just had to be checked.
Okay. Who's still on the cast do you normally, naturally, don't have to be forced to talk to today? On Baddie South? From Baddie South?
From Baddie South?
Like, do you still talk to Krishan?
In passing.
Okay.
Like, if I see Krishan out and about, like, I would speak to her, I would hug her, Okay. I'm always happy when I see her, but we don't, like, call each other or speak on the phone.
Persuasion.
I don't talk to her. We were never really, like, friends like that. We were just on the show together.
Okay.
She's cool, though, but it's not, we just, friends.
Okay. So, the Baddie South ends, and there's 2 seasons of a gap. We don't see Jela. Is that because of the tiff you had with Natalie, or is it because of personal things? Why did we not see a return until Caribbean?
So, I'm going to be real with you.
Oh.
I didn't get a call back for, I think the next season was West. I didn't get a call back for West because I feel like I didn't get a call back for West because I didn't fight at that reunion. South.
Okay.
I was looking too motherfucking good.
Okay.
I was looking too good.
Okay.
I was not fighting. I looked too good. Baby, I was looking too good. I had on some gold Jimmy Choos and a cute little custom 1-2 normal culture custom Chapleys. Them finger waves was laid, baby, fried dot laid to the side.
Fried dot.
I was looking way too good. You seen when baby Persuasion did something, I just fell to the floor. Excuse me, out your way. Not doing that.
Right.
No. And Trina was on stage with us. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not fighting Trina.
Right.
She's too bad of a bitch. I'm sorry.
Right. I
can't fight in front of her. I don't give a damn what clips y'all show.
So do you feel like the people like me or the other people that
how do I explain this to y'all?
What's going on, friend? I understand the business perspective.
Of course.
But really, I mean,
okay, you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
So I'm for real. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Okay.
I know that a lot of people think that Baddies is like beneath me, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said to me, Jela,
she started on
we could see you being on America's Next Top Model or whatever. I auditioned for America's Next Top Model like 3 times.
Okay.
They never picked me.
Okay.
They didn't choose me. And so when you grow up modeling, I started modeling when I was like 12. I got my first headshot when I was 12, and I used to take it to school and autograph it and give it to people in middle school.
I feel it.
And so when you grow up
emotion.
like that,
modeling
and in front of the camera and just trying to like get your foot out there, or people your whole life telling you how beautiful you are and you should be a model, and then when you try and you go to like, people always saying, Jayla, you should be on America's Next Top Model. You should be on America's Next Top Model. And I go and I audition for Top Model as soon as I graduate from high school. And they didn't pick me, but that didn't keep me from going back. I auditioned 3 times.
Yeah.
I auditioned 3 times. And so it really put like a damper on my spirit. It did. And I never ever told, you're the first person outside of my family that I have ever told this to. I never told nobody this. But yes, I auditioned for Top Model 3 times, and I'm not mad that they didn't choose me.
Yeah.
Because what's for me is for me. That just wasn't what God wanted for me at that time. Because look where normal culture is. I get to put myself on.
Yeah.
I'm my own model. I'm the face of my own brand.
Yeah.
I'm giving girls the same opportunities that nobody else would give me that look like me. That's not cookie cutter, size 2, 6'1" models.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, for the people that think that, baddies is beneath me, I will say this because I can talk on and on and on about it. But I come from Bad Girls Club. And when I did Bad Girls Club, I did Bad Girls Club at a time in my life where I didn't have nothing to lose. I had just gotten fired from my job. I worked in property management. I had just gotten fired from my job. Me and my boyfriend at the time had just broke up. He was an NFL player. And I was living in Houston, Texas. And I had went back to college. That's where y'all see me on TSU campus in my audition tape.
Very cute video.
And so
I
didn't have nothing to lose. I knew I wanted to be famous, and Bad Girls Club gave me that opportunity. And so 7 years later, when Baddies came around and I got that opportunity, I was at a place in my life again where I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. I'm a single woman, and at that time I'm a single woman,
When we look at you and we see you, we see the poise, we see the grace, we see what we have already seen you done and what we can continue to see you do. But then we see the ratchet and the fighting because somebody did something and it really don't make no sense. And it's like the jumping and the sneaking and people getting knotted up and blood, and it's like...
Can I be real with you? You know what this is? And I'm going to be real. And I know that there are going to be people that are saying this at home and be like, damn, I'm glad she told the truth.
It's kind of like WWE.
What this is like, what you see me doing is you see me living in survival mode. You see me living in survival mode and being afraid of my own potential. That's all it is.
Expound on that.
So... I know that I'm supposed to have my own talk show. I know that I'm supposed to be one of the top supermodels in the world. I know that I'm one of the most beautiful people you have ever seen and one of the most well-spoken women on TV.
Okay.
And I got better skin than everybody else. I'm 35 and I got the skin of a 17-year-old.
Okay.
These are things I know.
All right.
But in knowing those things, when you don't come from a family or a tribe of people that have done any of those things that I've stated, it's sometimes a little bit hard to take the road less traveled or to really chase every single dream to the tippy top.
Okay.
And sometimes you do get comfortable, and you see me at a place where I found where I was comfortable. Mm-hmm. I found where I could make money, I could be famous, and people could like me, and it was easy. But now that's over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now it's
I'm choosing to purposely step away from that so that God can really not only show me what I'm made of, but also show y'all the manifestation that y'all have poured onto me. Because I love when people say that. I love when people say you're bigger than baddies, and I want to see you coming out with a Naomi Campbell, because what you're doing is you motivating. And the rest of the world, the people on Twitter and Instagram or wherever they are on YouTube, the people all across the world that are watching me and seeing it and saying things like that, y'all are helping me because it's an energy.
Yeah.
It's an energy.
And it's real though. It's
not real. It's a real thing.
I'm not just fugazi and just popping off at the mouth like without. It's real though.
For a long time, and I'm not afraid to say this, and I want you to include this.
Yeah.
Because it's somebody else that needs to hear this, so they stop doing it. For a very long time, I was afraid of my own potential. Okay. I played small because I was in survival mode, and I was scared to really walk that walk and talk that talk and really take that step out on faith, because I talk is a good talk.
I hear you, bitch. The same with this
YouTube shit, man. But there's still a part of me that was scared to really go and be.
Oh shit. Alright. Side note, this YouTube, like, my cousin's been telling me, like, to do this for, like, years. And look, I finally decided to just go ahead and do it.
As big as the world knows.
I don't know, like, and I just got this, like...
Yeah.
A blind man can see it. Stevie Wonder can fucking
this
see
shit in my heart, like, just do it.
Energy,
I was
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna just do it.
You can...
Now we hear PMG.
When I walk into a room, even if I don't say anything,
got a PMS.
It's good to be self-aware though, and I have to say,
with the PMS.
It's hard to even think that a lot of the women a part of this particular franchise, Baddies, are self-aware, because some of the things that we see.
I don't know how self-aware a lot of people are within my franchise. I had to stop that. But there are some. There are some very intelligent. There are some very intelligent.
What season was they on?
I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you, and this might cause a little bit of controversy because of just everything that's going on right now within the franchise. But one of the most intelligent women that I have met within my franchise is Diamond the Body.
I believe it.
I know you're gonna look at that camera and you're gonna be like, Jela, you better open your mouth and explain what the fuck you're talking about and do it quick.
Are you hold on now? Because I'm of age now.
One of the most intelligent
now, and I don't watch the seasons, and Diamond the Body's cool. I see it.
I don't agree. I'm gonna tell you something.
Tactics.
I don't agree with her tactics.
Okay.
But when I say intelligence, I mean when I'm able to sit down and have a conversation with you, and your subjects and your verbs agree, and we can talk about books that we have both read, and you're a businesswoman and you're business savvy, and she speaks well. I pay attention to people that speak well.
My phone agrees. My phone is.
See?
My phone agrees. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not no hater.
Yeah.
And I don't care what issues nobody got with other people. That ain't my business.
People gotta understand.
Okay.
You
asked me who I felt like
a TV personality. So a lot of the time, Diamond the Body clearly has a TV personality.
She's a college degree educated woman.
Yes.
Her
but
actual
outside
personality.
of her, when I'm speaking solely in terms of my castmates, my peers,
that's very interesting.
She is someone that you would not just give that to off the bat because of how wild she is.
Yes.
But that is what made me pay attention to her even more, because she's very calculated with it. She will tell you that she is a clout chaser.
Yes.
But when you sit down and have a conversation with her, she's a girl.
It's an actual conversation.
It's an actual conversation, and she speaks very well. And I speak very well. One day I told her, I said, Diamond, you speak very well. She was like, thank you. And I was like, you have an intelligent mom, don't you? And she was like, yeah, how did you know? And I was like, because I have an intelligent mom. And when you have a smart mom, they just instill certain things in you. Like, I'm from Atlanta, but I don't speak with slang and jargon, and I don't have that Atlanta accent. Like, I don't break up my words. And, you really wouldn't know where I was from specifically. Besides, you'd be like the region from the South, but I don't know where.
Different.
Right. Like, Diamond, I didn't know Diamond was from Miami because she doesn't have a typical Miami accent, and it's and just like I don't have that typical Atlanta accent or whatever, and so I did not know that she was from Miami or from Florida. I'm not sure she's specifically from Miami, but I know that she's from Florida. But she speaks very well, and I pay attention to that. And then one day on Caribbean, I walked into her room, and I think that she was reading, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something like that. She was reading a book. And I said, I'll be reading. I enjoy people
it was a trend on TikTok, and it was just look up book, and whatever is the first book to pop up that describes you, and that was the book that popped up for me. So
I enjoy people that have a yearn for life, or that are inquisitive and read books and knowledge. I like that, and that made me like her. And
at my college, they're very big on the 7 habits. I noticed
that's her business. But just in terms
English
of
literature
intellect
classes,
and brain power, and someone that I respect, for also having mental fortitude, I got to give it up to her. She's mentally, I give it to her. She got it. Her brain works.
Baddies Caribbean.
And I follow about 4 out of the 7.
Caribbean was
I'm constantly planning all types.
Some of my faves from Baddies Caribbean.
Always brainstorming ideas.
She was a personality that was great for this show. You went off on quite a few people. Okay. Those are my top 2 primes right now. And yeah, those are my top 2 primes. Biggie. Biggie felt some that you and Natalie was talking about her online. I remember seeing it live, but I didn't really take it that deep and that serious.
Oh, Jela did. She tried not to even answer the question. It was Natalie being messy, like
dog shit out of you when she see you. Now we know Biggie can't do much of shit, baby. We know
that bitch hit hard.
Well, we gonna get to her. We gonna get to her now.
She funny though.
But in my mind, I'm like, is Jayla really moved by this, or was this a storyline?
Honestly, it wasn't even supposed to be a storyline.
Okay.
But it became a storyline, and then thank you, Biggie, because I think that I'm gonna be real. Had me and Biggie not gotten into it on the internet before Caribbean or whatever the case may be, I probably wouldn't have been on Caribbean because I wouldn't have really had like a real storyline. So I'm able to give people where credit is due.
Okay.
And because it's hindsight, because it really wasn't supposed to be like that.
Okay.
Natalie asked me a question and I tried to deflect. I was like, well, you know, I didn't really see it like that. And I just kind of tried to like move on. And then she brought it back around and we looked at each other and started laughing. But I never poked fun at her because I didn't at that moment, I didn't really know her like that to poke fun at her or whatever. But she felt like me and Natalie were being mean girls. In that moment, I wasn't really. But what the fuck ever? We got to the Caribbean, baby, and it went the fuck down.
Do you? I got a couple of questions about this. Do you think you carried that? Do you think you carried it way too long? Like the going against Biggie. It felt like every episode there was like Biggie.
But yes, but that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault.
What does that mean?
It just, honestly...
No, bitch. Take accountability, bitch.
It just wasn't my fault.
Okay.
Because...
Yes.
I think, for me...
Yes. I hear you. I'm
gonna say this. When it came to that situation with Biggie and myself, before that second altercation happened, the one in the house when we got to Barbados.
Okay.
We were already there. Y'all just didn't see us there.
Yeah.
But Biggie and I had pretty much had a conversation and kind of like squashed it.
Okay.
And then when we got to set, I was told it was a different story. And so that's why when we were in the scene, you see me and Biggie arguing, but there's not really like a bark for real. Like we going back and forth, but I'm trying to like catch it a little. I'm like, where we going with this or whatever? But they're telling me, the people around us are saying, you know, keep your head on a swivel because she on that, is what I was told. You know, just from like...
But what, okay. So, real quick, I'm going to have to say that the intro, maybe Biggie was in it though.
Oh, it got like that.
She got up and she said, oh, let's go ahead.
That bitch hit me hard.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When we was fighting, when we was fighting and y'all see me get up and we ran behind that chair, I underestimated Biggie. And
that he was like Biggie Smalls.
Baby.
She hit me so hard. I said, oh no, I gotta really knuckle and buckle with this bitch.
Yes, she wasn't playing.
I said, oh hell no.
And you know,
we got the fisticuff and Biggie got some good hits and I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ashamed to say she got some good licks.
Yeah, I was so shocked. Now I'm gonna ask you now, is that a part of the reason why you carried a little bit? Because you're like, hold on now, because when you was in the house, I don't know what house this was or what time this was, but you was in the house and it seemed like you was going at her and she was not trying to come back at all.
Exactly.
She was walking away and then.
But that's what so let me tell you in that scene, because this is all when we first got to Barbados.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, because remember, technically we had just got to Barbados.
Yeah.
In TV land.
Yeah.
We had just got to Barbados.
Right.
But in real life, we had been there for maybe like a day or so.
Right.
And so even though we had squashed it off camera, we still have to do that on camera.
Got you.
For the fans to be able to follow the sequence of events. And so the scene where you see me walking behind her, going toward her room or whatever it was, I was actually trying to grab her to say, okay, what are are we like, because we made up the night before, so bitch, are we like putting on, or like, they grabbed me like I was trying to fight her, and I actually wasn't. I never wanted to like fight.
Question of all questions, do you feel that you bullied Biggie?
No, I do not feel like I bullied Biggie, and the reason being is because I did not start with her. Natalie asked me a question, and I gave my answer, and I also tried to deflect and not really answer the question out of respect for her and not really knowing her that well and not wanting to seem like I was picking on her or being a mean girl on the internet.
And Biggie said she was
with
going.
My friend.
You told
That's
that lady
one.
you was going to smack her when
Biggie
you
threatened
seen
me
her.
first.
Like,
I never threatened her. When Natalie asked me my opinion, I gave my opinion, and I didn't even want to give my fucking opinion.
I remember. Yeah.
And then I only responded because Biggie got on the internet popping it and saying, yeah, and when I see you, you can get smacked too. So when a bitch tell me,
she looks so good when she start getting mad.
You ain't gotta tell no bitch to get me. You ain't gotta tell no bitch to get me.
Baby, she said
when Biggie said, and I love Biggie. I love Biggie to death. You know, Biggie, you my bitch. I love you. At this point, you
don't got to tell
me. If you say that you're gonna put your hands on me when I see you, it's up and it's stuck. It's like that.
What the fuck
don't
did
you
I
ever
just
think
say?
that you're gonna disrespect me in front
stuck.
of the world, and when I see you, it's gonna be something different. If you say that you're gonna put your hands on me, bitch, you better put your motherfucking hands on me when you see me.
Why was Gretchen a non-black person? I don't know what the hell she is. But I'm going to say a non-black person.
Some type
I'm asking you because I wasn't
black,
on the show.
Hispanic, Italian.
Why was
what color you
Gretchen,
is?
a non-black person, allowed to say the N-word, go off on a tangent, not give two flying about saying it, have all the black women, predominantly all the black women, seemingly upset, fighting her, allowed to stay on the show.
Gretchen ain't.
But we have two beautiful black queens, Slim and the other girl, I can't remember her name. Dia, sent home because they were boring. Can you add some light, please?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. Number one, that's a production question. I don't work in production. But if I had to give you my honest opinion, even outside of whatever it was that me and Gretchen got into, if I had to remove myself and just give you strictly black and white from my vantage point, because you have a black woman and a non-black woman arguing about something that is very controversial. And tensions are rising, and it's causing somewhat of a divide with the cast. And this is something that is going to make great TV, and it's going to be very conversation worthy. And so I think for that reason they kept her. I can't speak for production. This is literally my opinion from my perspective as someone that fought her, that was involved in the situation. I think me personally, because I gotta say me, nobody else, nobody said this. This is my own opinion, guys. But I really think that it was just for the ratings. I think that when it came down to it, I'm me and she's her. I'm a black woman that don't play that nigga shit.
I know,
and
like
she's a Hispanic woman
off. This is not my shit.
Allowed
this
to
is
say
his
nigga
thing.
within her community or with her friends or you know whatever. And her kids got a black daddy.
Okay.
So I'm telling first. So I think that and that don't even all that shit don't even matter. But I think that when production caught wind of everything that's going on, it's like, okay, these bitches is going at it behind some real life shit. Yeah. Let's see how far it goes.
It was real, and no, that scene was intense. Like I said, predominantly not all the black women, but a lot of the black women were on that with her, and it seemed like in one take she cared, and then in another take she didn't, and she was going off on a tangent saying, "I don't give a fuck, nigga," and I'm like,
nigga.
Yeah, it was.
And you want to know what's so crazy? You want to know what?
She got a picture with Gretch. She gonna be like, Gretch was actually cool.
Okay, I took a screenshot of this the other day. This was on March 30th. What do you say who followed me on Instagram?
About you pulling up receipts.
Ooh, Gretchen.
The tough calls.
This stinks. Child.
Gretchen, why did you follow me on Instagram? I saw you follow me the other day. Why did you follow me?
Friend, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and this is why another reason why I couldn't be Mona Simone on this interview. Let me tell you, this is not okay.
Gretchen, why did you follow?
It's not okay. If you are non-black, I understand that some communities are in a space where not around, maybe they are around blacks and blacks allow it or whatever the case may be, but that doesn't speak for every black person.
Right.
Okay. And if you are around a black person that finds that feels that using those words are very disrespectful, offensive, then you need to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Period. There's no explanation. Oh, well, when I'm in my hood, this and that and the third. None of that does not matter because you are not in your hood right now. That is not okay.
And so, can I actually tell you how this started? Because a lot of people don't know the backstory behind this.
Okay.
So when we first got to the Caribbean, Gretchen actually ate breakfast with us a couple of mornings, like, because we had like chefs and stuff that would cook breakfast for all of the girls. Whenever they would wake up, they'll make you whatever you want. And so, like, I was a girl, or I'm a person that wakes up early in the morning. I'm an early riser. I'm usually one of the first people up. When the girls come down and have breakfast, I'm usually sitting there talking to them, you know, whatever, just chilling at the kitchen table, eating my food with whoever else is down there. Usually, it would have been like me and Sapphire. We would always go down and get breakfast together. And so, a few times, Gretchen was down there, and she was cool. I knew that she had 3 kids. She's a Cancer. She's from Florida. She was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no issue with her. And that day in particular, so they had us in 2 separate houses, but not because there was an issue, but because it was just so many of us. So we had the main house, and then in front of the main house, there was like a second house, like a guest house. And so in the guest house is where Meatball, Gretchen, and I think Slim and Dia were staying. Okay. They were staying in that guest house, and then like me, Sapphire, Natalie, Rolly,
Jela, baby, get to the point. I'm sorry.
Whoever else.
Yes.
Whatever. And so Meatball and Gretchen had been into it, and Gretchen was calling her all types of niggas. Nigga this, nigga that, fuck you, nigga, like calling her a nigga, not just saying, oh, but you know my nigga, not just saying nigga casually in conversation. She had been calling her a motherfucking nigga.
Yeah.
So when we all were in that living room, and if you notice, when Gretchen and Meatball came in, they immediately started fighting, and we didn't know what the. We hear Gretchen, nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that. We still don't know about all the niggas that she had called her in the house. We only know about the niggas that she's calling Meatball in front of us.
Yeah.
It's so much going on. If you go back and watch that episode.
Can I borrow a French fry, my nigga?
All types of niggas, and that's when I said, you can't be saying nigga like that. Are you black? And she was like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So in that moment, for me, I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck about nobody going around saying nigga. You say it as much as you want to, but there's a level of respect that you have to have for people that don't feel comfortable with you saying it in their presence, and that is where the disconnect came.
Yes.
Because when I said to her, I was like, oh, well, you can't be saying that, you know, you ain't black, and me and the twins kind of, because really it wasn't even me who said, I think it might have been, I don't know, remember if it was Shannon or Shanae. She was like, did you just say that? And we all kind of looked at each other like, what?
Right.
And when I asked her about it, she was like, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now what you are saying to me is you have a blatant disregard for not only me, but every other black person in this room.
All that.
And your kids. Because you have black kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
What if somebody what if somebody was to call one of your kids a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Just because you have made it okay for you to say it, or just because you feel like it's okay for you to say it, you still have to remember you are a non-black woman raising black children, and another non-black person might come out into the world and call your black kids niggas. And now you got to be able to tell your kids it's just a word, you just got to deal with it, you'll be all right. But no, because it hit different when your skin is melanated, and it hit different when you know how people try to say that word to weaponize or to hurt you. And that was my issue with Gretchen. It wasn't the fact that she said nigga. I didn't care about her saying nigga, because I'm not your mama. say whatever you want to say, but my issue was we told you that it was a problem or that we weren't okay with it, and you had a blatant disregard for our feelings and decided to keep doing it, and then you were doing it to be funny. So since you want to be funny, bitch, I'm gonna show you who gonna laugh the hardest.
Baby, Gretchen took a bite out of crime, baby, and the Mona and me came out and said, what the hell? Did you regret doing Baddies Caribbean, or did you regret fighting this girl when it seemed like she literally took a chunk of your skin off? What was going through your mind?
Well, it wasn't that she took a chunk of my skin off. When she bit me, her mouth was very nasty. And so when I went, I had to get a tetanus shot. And when I got a tetanus shot, where she bit me, that area got infected because her mouth was so nasty. The wound got infected because she had, like, I don't know, gingivitis or something, but the bitch's mouth was nasty.
I will be messy and ask how many of these.
You know, if she got gingivitis, if she had a smell coming from her
I'm
mouth.
pretty sure a lot of them.
But that
anyway,
wound did look
that's
nasty.
just a Wesley moment. We gonna go
And
back.
she wasn't covering it up like Jela. You nasty on the low.
When she bit me, it was really when she
I like
bit me,
that,
it was a bad bite, but the bite got worse because it got infected.
That's horrible.
When she bit me, I can show you the pictures. It was kind of like just this at first. But when I went and got that tetanus shot, it got infected because it pushed all of the bacteria out from where her mouth tore my skin. That is what really caused the scarring from it getting infected, because it had gotten so infected, and it literally had gotten so big that one day on set, and spiritual things are like really, really crazy. You know, like wounds and stuff hold like trauma and like energy and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like this thing, it was like right here on the front of my chest. And so I had never had another conversation with her about it, you know, since that happened. And then so when we got to Puerto Rico, you can see in the living room, you know, she said sorry, or, you know, tried to like apologize to me, or like whatever it was. Do you know that after that girl apologized to me, that thing came open? And everything just started pouring out of it. Like, I literally was in the bathroom with a towel across my chest of pus and blood mixed together, like gunky, nasty shit. Literally squeezing and oozing it out of my chest after the girl, like, pretty much, like, said her piece. And I was like, that's just like a whole spiritual thing, because you had all of these emotions, you had all of these things, like, built up. But the moment she was allowed to express herself, the wound expressed itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
From a different perspective, I'd be going on tangents, but I thought about that.
Do. I would love to have a conversation.
But saying that to say,
not
like,
for 5
the whole
hours,
situation with Gretchen, I'm not mad at her.
Maybe 3 max.
For using the N-word. If your people allow you to do that, if that's what is morally okay, and if you think that that's okay, then you go right on ahead and you do that. I'm not here to tell you anything different. The issue was, when a group of people, you are not only working on a cast of predominantly black women, you're working with a production company, a network of predominantly black people. I may not have been the only person you offended, but I may have been the person that was the most vocal about it.
Right.
And so that could have easily been a learning lesson for both of us. Because I still feel like there's a conversation that she and I could have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against that.
That's
I'm not
sure.
Well, because I'm not against that, because I feel like both of us kind of like took the rap for that. Like, you know, people don't understand her because she's a non-black woman saying nigga, and nobody never really sat down and have a conversation with her to figure out where you from, why do you feel like it's okay to say that, or when Jela and all those other black people were in your face telling you can't say it, why did you keep saying it? I haven't seen nobody ask her that.
Okay.
And I feel like somebody should ask her that. Just like if I was to sit down and I was having a conversation with her, like, I would want to know more about her. My grandmother isn't black. My mother is mixed. My mother has a non-black mother, but I ain't never heard my grandmother say nigga.
Okay.
I ain't never heard. My stepmother is white, which we learned on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
She don't say it. So for me, I come from a biracial background. I come from a mixed family.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm running around trying to be the blackest person, or trying to like scream or prove my blackness or anything like that. But at the end of the day and the beginning of the morning, I am a black woman. And when I go out into the world, it don't matter what I'm mixed with.
Yeah.
If I was to go missing tomorrow, if somebody had to give a physical description of me, I'm the black woman with the long brown. I'm a black woman with long brown hair and a white tennis skirt. Baseline.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting into, oh, well, your family's from here, your family's from there, and you got this and you got that. Baseline, I'm a black woman in America, and my kids are gonna be black in America, like I said on Bad Girls Club.
Yes. Because you're gonna marry a black man.
And I'm gonna marry, and I still hold true to that. I'm gonna marry a black man because a black man is the only man I feel like can teach my sons or my children how to navigate this nasty world.
This is not easy, baby. And I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers. This is me talking. This is not Jayla. Jayla can be PC. I'm gonna be me. Okay. I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers out there want to be all of this. Okay. But this is nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with. Is Anna and Biggie Black, is they mixed? What are they? Because they like to use the N-word a lot.
All I see is blessings. Alright, y'all, that was in the part one. Oh, I guess we gonna get into Anna Biggie next.
Let me guess.
But alright, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. PM Goddess, PMG out. Like, comment, and subscribe.